Coming from Jamaica and Kingston, which is the capital of Jamaica, from a poverty, crime-ridden area, it was hard, you know. My dad was a leader of a gang in the community. He was the head of the gang, and to grew up in that and then being able to survive that and then come to the UK and achieve what I'm achieving, it's a crazy story, you know. Coming from like a country or an area that gun crimes and shootouts and being a kid and witnessing all this and your dad being head of a gang, I find it easier to obviously make the walk and to compete against another man in a fair fist fight. You shake hands after, you go home to your families, you know, and obviously there's pressure and expectation competing in the octagon, but that and like being able to might get killed, just two different things, you know. I feel struggles and hardship builds character, you know. It builds a man into who he is. If you don't go through nothing in life, I don't feel that you'll be able to achieve what you want to achieve, you know. So this is a lucky thing that I'm doing, really. It's 7 billion people in the world. There's not many people get to do what they love, you know. I actually love fighting, I love training, I provide for my family.
Weighing in at 170 pounds, fighting out of Birmingham, England, Leon Rocky Edwards.
I'm a great striker, I'm a great grappler. I'm 27 years old, I'm still learning it. I want that rematch with Usman down the line, and that's what I'm working towards.
I came over about 10 years old, I'd probably say. I keep saying I was younger, you know. I keep saying I was like 8, I felt like I was young. But when I spoke to my mom the other day, she's like, nah, I came like he was about 10, 11, you know. So when I first came over, as a kid, it was different, you know, because I speak patois, which is Jamaican broken English. Being a kid, it's like funny, you know, just see like another kid speaking funny, but obviously as time go on, you adapt to get new friends, move houses, and just adapt to your environment. I still got family in Jamaica, still go back to Jamaica, back and forth, so I identify as both. It'd be good to win belt for both. If I win the belt, I'm celebrating Jamaica and I'm celebrating the UK, you know, I'm going a tour in Jamaica and I'm doing a tour in the UK, so like imagine doing a tour in Jamaica, that'd be like crazy, you know. I don't know if MMA is that big in Jamaica, so to be able to achieve this for such a small island, it'd be a great thing. I started MMA when I was 16, 17, just turning 17 probably. There was a gym getting built on the high street in my area, and my mum was like, oh, I should give this a go, because I was looking to do kickboxing anyway, because my friend was doing kickboxing, and I was like, I want to do that. So I went upstairs, asked for the memberships, and that's it. As soon as it opened up, we started training. This is the first time I ever heard about MMA, you know, because before boxing was big in the UK, football was big in the UK, maybe Thai boxing was big in the UK, but MMA weren't as big, especially in Birmingham anyway. So I had to like go to research these fighters, Anderson Silva, people like that, you know. I had to go back and look at the history of MMA and the good fighters in MMA, Google what did they get paid, you know. I guess I'm looking for a career, you know, so yeah, I feel like if I didn't start MMA, you know, that's where I'll be. Back with a fucking police car. I don't know what I was doing, you know. I was like heading down the wrong path into MMA, saved my life and changed my life, you know. So I've lost friends, good friends to knife crimes. Just last year, I lost my friend on Father's Day, got stabbed in the neck and died, you know. I've lost friends that's actually done the stabbing and is doing life in prison now. So I've seen both sides of the fence, you know, from losing life into going to prison for life. From what I know, I'll probably still be on the street. I probably got a 9-to-5 job. You never know, you know, but yeah, I always know that I'll be something good in life. I always felt it, you know. I knew that there was something better for me out there. Didn't know how to achieve it or where it was going to come from, but MMA came in my life, and this is what I'm meant to be doing. Straight away, I kind of took to it, you know. I also got battered the first couple of months being there, you know. I didn't know much about MMA, but I had my first amateur fight in like 5 or 6 months, and I beat like a guy that's a blue belt. So I kind of took to it fast. I learned fast, which is weird, because in school I didn't learn fast at all, you know. Yeah, I kind of fell in love with it. I've been there every single day. I wake up in the morning, I go to the gym, I would train, I would stay in the gym all day, eat, chill, train again. You know, I was living there all day. Oh God, it was like I was like kind of doing it to land to the body, you know. But I feel like he kind of put his legs up, just went straight into his balls, you know. But I'm always trying mad shit, you know, in the fight. Just shit. He's all right.
Fighting out of Birmingham, England.
everything was about getting to the UFC. When BAMMA was flourishing, it was one of the biggest promotions in the UK. And the only reason I went to BAMMA instead of Cage Warriors was because BAMMA was in arenas. When I do get to the UFC, I'll be used to fighting in arenas. And that's what I did. I went to sign BAMMA. I eventually won the bout. And from winning the bout, I got to the UFC. When it did come, obviously I was shocked. I thought it came earlier than I expected. I probably would have been probably more fights before they give me the call. But I got a short notice fight in Brazil against Claudio Silva.
Claudio Silva e Leon Edwards.
Leon Edwards was born in Kingston, Jamaica. He fights out of Birmingham, England. His nickname is Rocky.
It's 3 weeks notice. My manager phoned me into the gym and said, what do you think about fighting in Brazil? I was like, huh? I was like, yeah, the UFC just called, so you can fight in Brazil. Getting to the UFC was a big thing for me. When I fought my mom, I fought everyone, I'm in the UFC, they couldn't believe it, and going from that, going to Brazil, getting my second loss, then moving on from there and carrying on my career it's my journey.
For the winner by split decision, Claudio Hannibal Silva.
It affected me drastically, to build up your career, to get to this point in your career, and then getting there and failing. Your first hurdle was it's just heartbroken, Just feel like the whole world is shutting down on you. I worked so hard to get to this point, and I kind of overreacted. So I feel like I let everyone down, and you don't know this, you don't know that. But it's just a fight, Win, lose or draws doesn't make me who I am. I am who I am. I also want to go out there. I want to win. I want to perform the best of my abilities and achieve my goals. But it's not the end of the world. Loss is only bad when you're not honest with yourself. Loss is only bad when you think, I shouldn't have lost that, I shouldn't have done that, I shouldn't have done this. When realistically you did something wrong. The reason why you lost, that way you wouldn't have lost. This is how I look at my career, look at my training.
Leon Edwards in the blue. Seth Baczynski.
He's down straight away. That's the end of the fight.
Absolute perfection from Edwards.
After losing to Claudio Silva, I had to change a few stuff up, and I got an 8-second knockout, which was one of the fastest knockouts in UFC history, So I've learned from my loss. I went on 2-fight win streak, and I fought Usman. Since then, I haven't lost.
For the winner by unanimous decision, Leon Rocky Edwards. Leon Rocky Edwards.
My turning point though, when I fought Usman, when I lost to Usman, leading up to that fight, the talk was in the UK, you have to go to America to learn your wrestling. Okay, let me try to go to America. So I went to America, I went to AKA, and that camp was more focused on defending wrestling. I weren't thinking what I needed to do, it was more about just don't get taken down, and I think that's what played a big part in that loss. I went in there with a defensive mind state. I weren't thinking about what I needed to do, it was more just about what he's going to do. That's not a good way to be entering the fight. You want to go in there thinking, I know exactly what I'm going to do to win this fight.
Next up in the welterweight division, Leon Edwards versus Vicente Luque.
Leading up to the Luque fight, he was on a free fight KO streak, he was knocking everyone out, and he was do you want to fight Luque? I was like, yeah, cool. So winning there, I thought it was going to be a striking match. He was shooting for takedowns, so I outstruck him. Couldn't have finished him late. After that, he's went on to another 3-4 fight knockout streak again, He's knocked out a few people since I last fought him.
Barberena feels like he may have just let that one slip away from him.
The fight was called just before the buzzer.
Leon Rocky Edwards.
UFC Birmingham, me, Masvidal, let's go. I feel I should have been the main event. I called out both guys, Masvidal and Till. They both turned it down. Now I'm here, I got Gunnar Nelson. I'm going there to punch a hole through his head, and hopefully whoever wins the main event, I should be next. Leading up to the fight, I was thinking about defeating Gunnar Nelson. I didn't care about what team he was from or what he's around. It's more about me going out there and getting past Gunnar Nelson. They were cheering the away team, They were cheering Gunnar Nelson, even from the UK, from Iceland, So I think the boos came from me going at Till, back and forth with Till. You're not as good as you think you want, mate. I'm telling you.
Listen, I just know one thing. I'll punch a hole in your face.
You do fucking nothing. You punch a hole in nothing. What are you talking about?
Okay.
Look at your path, look at my path, what are you talking about? He was the headline at the time, he was the main event. So it was his crowd, So obviously I think that's where the boos came in. Obviously it was upsetting to be my first co-main event in the UK and to have that happen, But
It's leading up to the fight. It was like, don't take him down and get submitted. I was like, it's an MMA fight, take him down and punch him in his face. There's no submission there, you know, so that's what I did. I went out there, I took him down, dropped him with elbows, broke his eye socket and everything. So I just went out there and did my thing, you know. I was just like flowing it, enjoying it and just doing what I needed to do to win the fight.
Let's talk about that opening sequence.
Maybe not. If you, hey, come over here, say it in my face.
I don't remember what I said, you know. I think just the build up to the fight. The build up to the fight was kind of going back and forth in social media, and I was going back and forth with him, going back and forth with Till, going back and forth with all of them, you know, because I felt I should have been in the main event, you know. I should have been against Till in the main event. I think that was the fight the UK wanted to see, was me versus Till, you know, and it escalated from there. Just got off a win, so I wasn't expecting it. That's what pisses me off, you know. I was furious. Even after, like, the next day, like, there's nothing about the Gunnar Nelson fight. It's not about what happened backstage, you know. I just felt like that fight didn't happen. Straight away, I started pushing to the UFC for the fight, you know. They even came to me and be like, okay, well, this is the fight I want to make, you know. And yeah, you turn the fight down. They're often the fight, I could say, probably like 6 times, and you keep turning it down, you know. So you cannot force him to fight. But Masvidal's been in the game for a long time. He's never been champion in his life. He's always hovering around like the top 10. I want to fight him, you know. That wouldn't be about no belt or no money, just about just getting him in the octagon, you know. His day will come, we'll fight, you know. I've not seen him since the incident, and that fight would happen either on the street or in the octagon, but we're going to fight, you know, and that's just the bottom line of it.
January 20th was supposed to be the big one. It was supposed to be Khamzat Chimaev versus Leon Edwards. And then, of course, Leon gets COVID. Then, of course, Khamzat has complications due to COVID. And now they put Leon on ice. Don't wait. The guy hasn't fought since July of 2019, for God's sakes.
It was frustrating, you know. Then the pandemic hit, that even made it worse, because I was meant to fight Woodley in March, my first headline show back home in the UK, and I had that cancelled out on the Sunday before the fight, and then going through like a year of like bullshit, basically. Fights getting turned down, I couldn't travel, I couldn't train, the gyms was closed. Yeah, it was a frustrating year and a half.
He accepts the Khamzat fight. He's back in the rankings. They're fighting in the main event of December 19th.
Because I've been out for so long that I wanted to compete against anybody. I was trying to think like the best way to get to a title shot, the best way to put myself back into a position to achieve what I wanted to achieve, which has been a world champion. And he was the guy that had the big hype, you know, to build him up to be this guy that can't be beaten, is this, is that, you know. So I was like, okay, let's use that momentum to get me to a position where we want to get to. At the time, there was no one else that was making a noise. Masvidal turned me down, Kobe turned me down, and he was the guy that was willing to step up, you know. So I was like, cool, let's go. I'll fight anybody any given day, you know. I don't give a shit. As long as I achieve my goal, I don't care the route I have to get to, you know. If I believe that I'm number 1, it doesn't matter who's number 2, 3 or 4. If I truly believe in my heart of heart that I am the best guy in the world, I should be able to beat these guys, otherwise I'm not number 1. So I do believe that, and that's the reason why I've entertained these guys, entertained Khamzat, entertained Bilal Muhammad. Number 13, there's no one else in top 5 like taking this kind of risk, you know. They're all like, I'm waiting out for title shots and not competing, you know. I'm like number 3 in the world, saying I'll fight number 13, get me to my title shot, what I've earned already. Let's say I turned down Bilal Muhammad, I probably wouldn't have been in a position now to fight Nate Diaz, you know. Like I said, believe in yourself, work towards your goals, and the doors will open up for you, the path will open up for you, you know.
If I was to tell you guys 24 hours ago that Nate Diaz will be fighting Leon Edwards, I don't think you'd have bought that, because I must tell you, my reaction to this, I was very pleasantly surprised.
We go out there, getting the job done, defeating Nate Diaz, it's going to put me in line to achieve my goal to bring the world title back to the UK. And name-wise, it'd be the biggest name in my career. Nate Diaz has been around for a long time. I remember watching them. I remember seeing them in the UFC, seeing them on Strikeforce, Nate Diaz and Strikeforce, stuff like that, and just seeing the way they compete. And I kind of like the way they looked at the game. You know, there's I'll fight anybody, anywhere, anytime, and that's my mentality as well. You know, I'll fight any given day, and so it was good now to be matched up again, to put both our mindsets together and see how it plans out. Said when I fought Cowboy, there's a surreal, we fought Cowboy. They said when I fought RDA, he's a former world champion. But I look at it as like another opponent, another person that's standing in the way where I want to get to, for me to provide for my family, you know. Obviously when I'm retired and I'm look back and I'll be like, oh, I fought these, I fought these, you know. But now I am focused on achieving my dream. I've worked hard to come to this point. I got it from the mud and just build it brick by brick. So close to being able to get that rematch back and run it back, and we both haven't lost since we fought. You know, we've both been on a tear since then and fought similar people. So it'd be good to now, after all them years, get it back and get it, run it back properly. You know, so after fighting Nate Diaz, I'll be looking forward to my title shot. I always look back and even speak to my mom, and my brother does it as well. Fabian, he competes to Bellator as well. You know, and we were just having a conversation and talking about it and talking about life, and even my mom and just where we came from. They're always just like, oh, it's mad that you made it here. I always feel this is what I'm meant to be doing. This is the path I was meant to be on. You know, there's no other reason why I come from where I come from than I'm right here where I am, number 3 in the UFC. I'm achieving big things and hopefully getting a title shot this year. You know, so it's been a long journey, but this is a journey I'm meant to be on.